What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Avengers Forever. This will be part 3 of Avengers Assemble. Our multiversal war is in full effect. What we have seen so far is the main Avenger force going against the Masters of Evil, teaming up with the Avengers BC. They are doing everything they can to hold off these forces. Inside the pages of Avengers Forever, what we are going to be diving into is Avengers Tower at Infinity's End. With Avenger Prime not being here, our heroes are doing what they can to hold their ground. But the challenge to hold this ground is going to be great, because Mephisto and his army of Mephistos, they have come to claim the tower as their own. Now, be sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with the army of Mephistos making their way towards the tower. We are in the God Quarry, the Avengers Tower at the heart of existence. The age of Mephisto is about to begin. It all starts with taking this tower. But this is a multiversal war, which means we have a whole slew of heroes that we are going to see brought out to fight against this force. The one leading the charge is none other than Captain Carter. By her side is Weapon America, but there is so much more than that. This is where we see the Howling Commandos. This is an all Steve Rogers fighting force. As we see shields flying through the battlefield, the charge is fully underway, doing their best to hold the line. We have Captain Carter yelling for the dream, the battle cry for our Steve Rogers. There is no holding back. This is an all-out bloodbath. While the Howling Commandos, they take care of ground forces. We have Mephistos that are flying up in the air, having the Devils airborne. They are taking heavy fire on the ground. That's when they call in the Air Cav. That is when we have the arrival of the Carol Corps, with the SS Marvel launching all of its fighters. While the Mephistos believe that they had the air superiority, they no longer own it. As the Howling Commandos make their advance, the Carol's taking care of all the air assets. That is when we have a new player hit the scene. We are getting giant 20-story tall Mephistos, but Captain Carter has an answer for them as well. That is where we see Thor, God of Fists. With one giant punch, he knocks this giant Mephisto down to the ground. And the God of Fists, he makes quick work of this giant. But this is just one. There are many. But Thor, God of Fists, he's not the only heavy hitter on this team. That is where we have the arrival of Star Panther, as he comes in blowing right through the brain of some of these Mephistos. Star Panther is going to take care of all the other giants, while the ground forces, they focus on the smaller guys, the ones trying to get into the tower. With the battle ensuing on the outside, we go inside Avengers Tower. This is where we have the Invincible Ant-Man, aka Tony Stark. Inside the tower, he is meeting up with Vision and Moon Knight, as they have their quick reunion, letting it be known that Robbie Reyes, he is having a hard time right now. He may be the All-Righter. The problem is, he cannot get his powers. Something seems to be blocking his connection. Maybe it's burnt out, maybe it's something different. But with Robbie out of the picture, one of the heaviest hitters that they have on their team, he is inoperable. This also means that our team, they have to make something else up. They have to find another way of taking down this army that stands at their gates. This is when Tony gets an idea. Suiting up in his Ant-Man suit, he lets Vision and Moon Knight know that he's got a plan. This plan makes them super small. Going and following the ants, they are making their way underground. What Tony would like to do is tunnel underneath the Mephisto's main position, take them by surprise, maybe take out the leadership super easily. This not being a new tactic, but one that was actually used in World War II, I believe. But as they venture through the underground tunnels, this is where they run into Mephistos. They are digging their own tunnel, but they're not trying to get under Avengers Tower. They are going straight down. They are nearing the border with the first firmament. If they can access the universe of ancient energy, all of it that lies underneath the other side of this bedrock, it's game over. And so with the plans changing, we have Ant-Man jumping into the fray, throwing punches left and right. While they try to hold off these forces, an army of screaming devils, Avengers from all over creation. This is a battle unlike any other, with Moon Knight, Vision, and Tony Stark all looking like they may be done for. Moon Knight telling Vision to get Ant-Man out of here, to keep him protected. That is when they hear a voice that is coming to help them. A voice that is their savior. This voice is the voice of Old Man Phoenix, arguably the most powerful Wolverine to ever exist. And he has not come alone. Standing by his side is King Thor's granddaughters. They have come to join the fight. They have come to take on Doom Supreme. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so I'm gonna start off by saying something good about this, because overall the comic, the story arc, it hasn't been that eventful. It is very awesome to see all of these characters really make an appearance. From Old Man Phoenix to Thor's own mother. We are seeing handfuls of individuals, even freaking Star Panther is in here. And so it's super awesome to see all of these characters coming together in one spot. Something that Marvel doesn't do very often. I've seen a lot of people comparing it to DC Crisis Events, which you could definitely make that comparison. Luckily, Marvel is not on board with doing it to this extent, at least very often. But much like DC Crisis Events, you find yourself with so many overpowered individuals that usually are depowered in some way, shape, or form to make it a fair fight against their enemies. And then you run into the other problem where things become convoluted, where you have so many heavy hitters, but you're only being able to focus on a select few individuals, like Star Panther. He got one page in this whole comic. And I'll say, big kudos for bringing him in. The problem is, we may not be able to see a lot of these characters really live up to their name, live up to who they are. You know, I really do hope that Marvel will prove me wrong, that all of these characters are gonna get their justified spotlight and get the opportunity to shine and show what they are truly capable of. But more than anything, what these issues have been doing so far, at least throughout the Avengers Assemble event, is really just the introduction to heavy hitters. We see a little bit of battle, a little bit of fighting, and then some heavy hitter shows up at the end of the comic, but they don't get followed up in the next one. For example, we saw part 2 of Avengers Assemble, where Thor's mother, the original Phoenix, she comes flying in, making her way through space to save Thor, to fight against this evil. But she didn't appear not one time inside of this comic. Now that could be for the simple fact that the Avengers are currently facing off against the Masters of Evil at 1 million BC. But right now, we have two battles on two different fronts. One way or another, we are gonna see these battles come together. More than likely, the final battle taking place in the God Quarry, taking place at Avengers Tower. I haven't been overly impressed so far, but I'm willing to give Marvel the opportunity to really show me what they can do with this multiversal event. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything happening with Avengers Assemble, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this event. If you would like to help the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50. From loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.